All right. And welcome to a special Shadow City Mysteries House of Skye episode. Intro to Aldehyde Dredge. And we're here with a special guest. Originally it was going to be one of the our core players, but life happens, but we're super happy that we're able to get Jeremiah here, Jeremiah McCoy. So I think just a quick intro, who you is and what you do's, and then maybe we'll cover we'll let folks get to know you a little bit before you play this Tuesday. So
sounds good.
So
hi,
who you be?
Hi, I'm Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game on TikTok and Twitch. I am a content creator around tabletop role-playing games. That is primarily what I'm known for. I do a day job too, but that's what I'm actually known for on the internet.
Yeah, nobody wants to know about your day job.
Yeah,
sadly, nobody ever.
Some days, neither do I. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. All right, and you said Basics of the Game, but so where can they find you on the internet? What are all the places? Is this...
So I primarily known for my TikTok, where I post content pretty much daily about tabletop role-playing games, which is Basics of the Game on TikTok. I have a Twitch channel, Basics of the Game, where I stream actually 3 different campaigns, a vampire game and a couple of 7th Sea games. And on Blue Sky, I'm just Jeremiah McCoy. If you want to search that up, you'll find me on there. Those are probably the places you will be most likely to find me around on the internet.
All right. Very good. So as you covered, it's basically the game you chat about tabletop RPGs. So, what's your history with TTRPGs and role playing?
So more than 40 years ago, my mom was playing D&D and kept bringing home this box set, the basic box set. It had this really compelling artwork on the cover, the Errol Otis art, for those who know their stuff there. And I kept getting into it. So on my 9th birthday, my mom went ahead and got me my own. And I have been doing it ever since. I've been playing D&D and so many other role-playing games that I cannot actually count all of them. I've been player, game master, occasionally get game designer, though not as often as I sometimes wish I was, and sort of played around in that space for a long time, and I've been making content about it for about 20 years. So
that's awesome. Well, that's pretty awesome. Do you remember your first RPG character?
I do. It was an elf, because D&D at that time did not have like elven this. The basic set had elf as a class, dwarf as a class, and I was playing an elf. I played that for a little while, and then I made another version of it that ended up in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, it was sort of a fighter, magic user type character.
Elf.
And elf, yeah.
What was Elf 2.0?
It was a fighter, magic user.
Because then you could have races then, right? They had races
yeah. So it would be an elven fighter, magic user.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Multi-classing was only available to
elves.
To non-human races.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
They had something called dual classing. That's a whole can of worms we can go into.
No. I remember dual classing. Which was different than multi-classing. So,
it's very strange. But yeah, that was my first character. And I've had so many characters since that I've lost track of them.
Sure. I have people remind me of characters that I played, and I go, oh yeah, I kind of remember that character. That's great. So, what would you say? What excites you the most about role playing in general, though? I mean, you've been doing it for forever, right? So obviously, there's something you like about it. But what excites you the most about it, or maybe multiple things? If it's,
it's the stories. I do it in like there's the sort of problem solving element to role playing games, the sort of tactical, making interesting characters and so on. But really, at the end of the day, it's all in service of being able to say, no, really, there I was, and telling a story about what happened when I and my friends sitting around the table created a story. And it's so much so much more interactive than any other way you consume a story, right? Video games, the story is still scripted somewhat. Like you're going to make minor decisions here and there, but it's still scripted how it goes out.
Yeah, and hopefully that stays that way for a while, because all other options for that right now are horrible. So
anyway. Yeah. But like it's a creative work by the people who made it, right? You're reading a book, it's very passive. You're taking in whatever that story is. Same with a movie, TV, and so on. Role-playing games is the one where you are, as a group, coming up with the story. And the story is usually much more interesting than anything that any single person would have come up with on their own.
Yeah, it's a true collaborative, artistic, creative piece. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have a I mean, you've done a lot. Do you have a favorite, or at least maybe a recent? I mean, obviously it's like, it's hard to pick a favorite moment, or
like a moment from a role-playing game.
That was down on the list, and I apologize, but
no, that's fair.
You brought up a really cool point that, like, again, I'm thinking on it. I'm like, I think of lots of different moments, like they were like, oh yeah, that was cool.
I can remember recently playing in a vampire game, actually, and it's the end of the campaign, right? And people are dying, and it's tragic. And I can just remember there was a moment where I had to tell people why I was doing what I was doing. And like, I could feel the tears coming, and the emotion felt genuine, because I'd been playing this campaign for years and I was losing people, and they're like, why are you doing this? And at the end of the day, it's not because you're a hero or a villain, it's because it's what's left. It's what you do in between. This is who you become, is what you do. And that definitely stayed with me. And it's sort of bounced around in my head ever since. But I remember the first LARP I ever went to, I looked around and there were a bunch of people crying at a funeral for a character. And I was like, oh, genuine emotion. Stories shared about the fallen. This is why I did this. This is why I took this up. Okay. I hadn't realized that was what I was looking for, but yeah. So yeah, I always look for the good emotional beats and the cool moments.
Good. So what originally, when you were going to join us at the beginning of it, so what drew you originally to this actual play project?
I had a bunch of friends involved. Like, I've known you for what, 20 years, something like that,
at least.
Yeah. It's I've known the creators of the game for a long time. I know a lot of the cast. I've been gamers with them for decades in some cases. Like Katie and I think have known each other for 30 years now. So yeah, it was primarily, it's a cool game. And
no way it could have been 30 for Kate, like 20 tops. 20 tops. So you've done
no. Yes, I have known Katie for like 30 years. It's okay. It's okay. I have an entire group of people who are convinced that I am in fact Benjamin Franklin. So maybe she's immortal.
That tracks as well. That does track.
Yeah.
And how do you think playing in a noir setting will feel different from other games you played in, or though perhaps you played in other noirs? So,
yeah, I have played in some other noir settings. I like noir. Noir is, if you're not shooting for clever dialogue from time to time, you're probably missing out. You know, shady people and shady situations, trying to figure out, you know, the right path. And that's good times, right? Like one of the games I'm running right now is set in the 1920s. So yeah, it's definitely a space that I'm happy with.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, we definitely, everything's black and white, except we do point out that the government is a fascist government, and they are the bad guys. And if you think otherwise, you should reflect on your life choices. They're not the good guys. We just want to point that out.
Yeah. This might be relevant for some people.
We're just saying.
Yeah.
So for this character, and you know what, I've been holding off on. I mean, I think you might have caught a glimpse during the. But here we go. Bing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
it's a lovely character art. I like that.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
Adam. Yeah, I was sure we were going to have it ready for your first appearance. I knew we'd have it for the second, but he got that together quick. It was good.
Oh yeah,
I'm a fan. He's a cool looking, but still quirky looking individual. So, yeah, when you were creating this character coming into mind, do you see yourself in your character, or are they very different from you, or are we still feeling out how you think you're going to go with this?
I think there are elements of me in any character I play, obviously. I feel like this is maybe a little more me without self-restraint. He's he's a little more whimsical than I am. I'm not generally a flighty person, but every once in a while I have my moments. This guy will be a little bit more of those moments. A little on the dangerous side, but in a not an intentional way, just sort of mad scientist-y.
Yeah, Umbral Alchemist. That makes sense. Which actually is a good question. Is so why did you pick the class you picked, which was a maker? Yeah. What made you lead into that?
I like the idea of the sort of mad inventor type character. Was where I was at, and I was like, oh, okay, what could I do to sort of lean into this? And the maker just sort of fit, especially once I saw the subclass. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's going to be me. Yeah, I can do this. I think I find it interesting that the makers are also, because of how they're set up, some of the more durable
and they're not the heaviest of the hitters. The heavy obviously is like they are actually pretty badass fighters actually overall, right? Especially because they can tune their armor and they can tune their weapons, right? So, yeah. They're one of the few classes that'll actually get like a +1 weapon, which is not non-existent, but less common than say your typical D&D
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's leaning into the blacksmith vision of a maker, which I guess sort of makes me an oddball because I'm leaning more into the mad scientist. But you know what? The mad scientist often survives the explosion he makes in the lab, um, and that's definitely where I was going with that. Is the maker is a much more survivable version of the characters.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like they're tough. Well, because Constitution, right? So we went with the every class has an attribute attached to them, right? So being Constitution based, makes them a little bit beefier. But the other idea we were going with is that if you're an inventor or a scientist or a creator, you burn the midnight oil, right? We actually have that as a thing, right? So like you want to keep working, you want to get more out of your work or get whatever, then you lose a few hit points here and there or whatever, right? But you have the hit points to lose, so you can kind of lean into that whole thing. So I'm a big Baker's. I won't say it's probably my favorite. It's probably it's Maker is definitely there as one of my favorite classes, just because one, there's usually not, when you look at typical D&D, there's strength and dex and there's intelligence and wisdom, but Constitution kind of gets it's like a necessity attribute, but it doesn't get a lot of focus.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun to kind of play around with that and see what we could come up with for that. And the subclass is really fun. And the Umbral Alchemist is super cool. But I mean that leads into your faction. So like what made you pick the Cult of Tenebris? Other than like it seems to be the favorite faction of the family, but that's merely coincidence than anything else.
Yeah. I think it fit my image of the guy who doesn't fit. Like it's the Cult of Tenebris is very much for the people who don't fit in that society. And I was thinking of a guy who's an oddball who doesn't fit. He's a bastard. He's not really got a place outside of his job and what he does. So the Cult of Tenebris felt pretty good for that sort of makeup.
Yeah, they definitely push against. I mean, the typical Soretta / Vasapone society is the Church of Astra, and everyone follows the church. I mean, because it's an autocracy, right? So it's like, the religion is the religion, and the leader of the country is a walking god as far as everyone's concerned, right? He's an embodiment of one of the three gods. And so the Cult of Tenebris, while outside of this country, a little bit exists more so in different ways and shapes. They kind of have to like not be as prevalent, but they're a necessity within society, right? They have things and they do things, and they, so the fun thing is I think you'll actually see more walks of life or different walks of life amongst the Cult of Tenebris, but the proper society members and so forth, not as much. But they do have, obviously, like you said, the bastard or the oddball, the black sheep of the family that can be found amongst their ranks. So it's cool. We haven't, even with 2 Cult of Tenebris members, now 3rd, we haven't delved as deep into the Cult of Tenebris and their side of things. It's a bit, strangely enough, our lone church member has been driving a lot of the the activities within the family, and he's not even a family member. He's not.
I mean, the church is pushy. That's kind of the problem. But
well, they have a whole inquisition and everything. So
yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, no, it's almost like combining religion and government actually results in weird artifacts that maybe we don't want.
Maybe things that maybe we should question on occasion.
Yeah.
Putting that we started this game, writing this game a long time ago.
Can't imagine why this seems relevant right now
as fiction. Anyway, so yeah, if your character had a signature drink, what would it be?
Probably. Probably just a whatever happened to be handy. You know what? I'll go with. I know we don't have Moscow in this world, but a Moscow Mule.
All right, so your vodka and ginger beer, or
Yeah.
your alcohol and ginger beer. You get dark and
Yeah.
stormy, so you can have a dark and stormy. It's a rum and ginger beer.
Yeah.
We don't have London either. London Mule would be gin and ginger beer.
Yeah. But
anything
yeah.
ginger beer really is your mule. So
yeah. But vodka and ginger beer, like strong but sweet and has bite to it.
All right. Yeah, that's a good choice. It's my real life choice, so I understand.
I'm fond of it in real life myself. So
and would you say that Aldehyde is more of a planner or an improviser? I think we know the answer to this already from what you said, but I mean,
yeah, like he will go where the inspiration hits him, and you know what? So it's much more inspiration, more improviser. Yeah. Like it's just his mind works real fast and he goes, oh, okay, well, we can just do this, and this, and we'll toss this into the mix and everything will be wonderful. Here, have some of this. And yeah.
Perfect. And if your character had to pick a theme song, what would it be?
She blinded me with science.
All right, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like I just off the top of my head.
Oh, of course. So the question I ask everyone is because in most games that I run, except for this one now, this one's pretty regimental. Like once the week started, it started as a thing. But describe a typical Tuesday for Aldehyde.
For Aldehyde, what day is it again? Right. Probably fell asleep the night before with the notepad on his chest in front of a desk filled with chemicals, and he takes a few minutes to try and remember what he was working on. Then he will start working on that until he feels slightly faint because he forgot to eat anything. So probably like 2:00 in the afternoon, and then go and find whatever is available to eat, whether it is edible or not. He will drink because somebody will remind him that he should drink water, not because he actually remembers that he can drink. And then he will go back to what he was working on and continue working on that. And then at some point he will get up and wander around and find himself walking around the town working on a notepad as he tries to remember what he was working on in the first place. And then he will remember, oh, I have a place I need to go and work on that. And then he will go back to where he was working. And
are you okay with having multiple, like your place where you work and then like a stall where maybe you sell some goods? I know you were a shopkeeper-ish.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I suspect that he probably has like a stall not far from where his lab is, and like he will remember that he has it like 3 days a week, certainly. And go there and sell things, and maybe they're the right things.
Well, hopefully you're doing so on this Tuesday.
Yeah.
At some point in time while you're maybe dropping off, just to kind of fill in the supplies there, and it seems like you have like there's a lot, like there's a stall district for selling different kinds of goods. It's definitely Cult of Tenebris friendly. Like there are those that have the sign of the Cult of Tenebris around, so. Everyone kind of watches out for not everyone is, but people watch out for each other here. It's a mix of your common shops and mongers of different accoutrement of fish and candles and like elixirs and so forth. But there are few folks that trade in different ingredients and different items. and you have a little spot there. And the people, it's very, I don't if in some countries, like when they have these shops, people will watch out for each other's shops. So even if one person's not there, they might step in and sell while the other person's out or taking care of different things. And that's very much the case. You have two neighbors basically who sell other items, and then when people tend to like peruse or look through your items that you drop off on occasion or whatever, they help make sure they sell, and they hand you the what they're honest folks. Like, you don't even have to count. You know that the amount that they're handing you is equal to what was sold for the day or whatever, and they greet you, not surprised that you're just kind of showing up in the middle of the day or whatever, and are going about their business. But maybe give me a perception check.
Perception. Let's see. There you are. Because I'm very good at perception. No, I'm not. But
well, that's about. You notice, at least at first, while you're there and you're setting up things, that there are two. You would say out of place. They're not. They don't look to be the most normal folks that come through. One is a person dressed in like a very pale figure, draped in like fine kimono styled silks, paired with perfectly pressed trousers. And they have a delicate parasol in one hand, and a stylish little tiny hat perched on their head. And they're kind of just observing you, and are walking up on your stall. The other individual is quite the contrast to the small petite person who with the parasol and little tiny hat. They're a very tall man in a sleeveless button-up shirt and suspenders, and their frame is made broader by they have these unnatural size of their arms that are prosthetic metal, and they have a bowler hat that shades part of their face, but they have a glint of metallic jaw work, so their lower jaw is metallic. And they carry themselves with like the posture of a soldier, and they seem to be kind of walking with this individual kind of behind them, kind of looking around and everything, and they slowly start to approach your stall.
Okay. He'll look at them curiously, sort of go back and forth. Hello. Oh, hey. Is that hat ornamental? It doesn't seem like it would be very useful. Maybe do you keep some sort of heat regulation item inside it to perhaps pull the heat from your head? Does it hold ice?
No, purely decoration.
Very good. uh, Relieving the heat from the head is often a thing I contemplate. Perhaps a solution that will increase the heat transfer from the body out into the atmosphere would be ideal. But you didn't come here to hear my ramblings. What can I do for you?
You are Aldehyde Dredge, yes?
Yes. I think. Yes, I am.
Yes, we've come to deliver an invitation.
Oh. Oh no, that's a thing where you want me to go someplace.
Yes, and she pulls from her jacket a black card with a crest on it, and she says, "Yes, the House Skye has taken an interest in you. We've come to offer what others would never dare, a summons to your birthright."
Oh.
And then
Birthright.
the large man says very solemnly, "Skye Estate, at week's end, there will be others."
Other what?
Other people.
Why?
They have been summoned.
Oh. Like with a circle? Like Are they people, not people? I know
No.
the church is very strongly against that sort of thing in public, at
And
least.
to that, the woman says, yes, magic is the purview of the church and only the church.
Yes. Good, good. That's appropriate, I think.
Mhm.
Anyways, there are people that you are summoning, but not by summoning.
Correct.
Okay. Well then,
You've been invited.
I've been invited, which is not a summon.
No, this is your choice.
Ah, I
And
chose to be invited?
there your choice is to come or not to come.
Oh, I mean, I suppose it seems
Yeah,
polite. That's what she said last time. Anyways, so I'm going to a house of Skye.
yes, the address is on the card.
Ah, well then. Why? I had birthright.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm familiar with the term. Never actually had a birthright before.
And if you like, you could make insight, history, religion, arcana, whatever you like.
Uh, I'm going to go with Arcana because that's probably
Okay.
my best roll. And of course, I roll a one.
Yeah, you don't. Well, I mean, but it's a one.
Nope, got no idea.
Well, you still got an 8 there. No, there's still some like so. With the woman before you, there's no visible arcane symbols or items. On the large individual, his prosthetics are powered by turnstone. But it's the basically, which is what's required to make clockwork items run. But it's, I mean, that's just general knowledge. You should know that, but you do know that at least. You have that much knowledge. Yeah. Any other skill you'd want to try and use, or
Sure. Let's try the things I'm not good at.
yeah, I mean,
Because the things I'm good at, I'm not good at apparently. How about investigation?
yeah. Investigation, not so much in this situation.
All right, I'll go with insight. And
Okay, it's good.
yeah, no.
This is oh my goodness, jeez. Yeah, you get nothing off of that. All right, wow, that's
I'm very smart, but not about this.
no, I get that. Wow. How about, I don't know. I mean, just swing for the hills here on this. The hills for the
athletics. No,
no, athletics. Yeah, really. I mean, religion or
sure. I'll try a religion.
why not?
Fine, 21.
But of course, that's the one, right? All right. So some things you pick up, some things you pick up. It's, that's you get all the bad rolls out now. That's what we like to say. That's never true for anybody else though.
No.
Okay, so the woman has no religious symbols, or which is unusual in Shadow City. So they were not wearing any religious symbols. They seem to also lack affiliation. Their lack of affiliation appears deliberate, signaling like a neutrality about them. And yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So I'll skip that. And then for the large gentleman, again, they don't seem to have any obvious religious symbols on them. and they appear to have like no affiliation to the Church of Astra, Cult of Tenebris, or any of the city's common orders.
Okay.
His prosthetics lack the ornamental or ritual embellishments often favored by cult engineers. So you don't see any kind of any work from that. They're strictly functional. So also what's interesting is not only are they like, so they're not brass and they're not iron, which are the two most common types of prosthetics in the city, based off of the organizations that produce them. They are actually kind of like almost dull. So turnstone is what gives color in the world, right? It's what creates things to be black and white, or creates the things that stand out in the world that is black and white, right? So usually you take turnstone, you use alchemical processes and you apply it to metals, and it's what creates the gears that turn. It also, but in doing so, also gives color to the world, right? So that's where things shine as like golds and silvers and coppers and brass or whatever that can be seen in the world exist because of turnstone. And the one exception is purple, which is our danger color in the world. So when purple pops up, such as the in your little vial there and your alchemical works, you'll see that's our danger color in the world. But what's interesting about this large gentleman is, though he has an impressive body made of these prosthetics, there's no brass, no iron, and actually doesn't have that metallic shine that comes with turnstone. So it's almost they're made with intention is basically the bit here. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Anything else you'd like to take a look at or ponder? Give me one last perception check though, as well. Actually.
Oh sure. Like, why not fight against the trend? Perception. Yeah. No.
7.
I got nothing.
7. Yeah. I mean, as they're, man, is that even? Can you? So on the 7, basically once they finish, they kind of say the piece to you, and they realize like you're just gonna kind of keep on just blah blah blahing. They kind of turn. She taps her cane and kind of turns, and after she hands you the card and walks away, the large gentleman kind of waits for a moment before he also leaves with her, and then you hear. And a large raven kind of flies off in their direction with molted feathers, and it's a quick glimpse at the raven as it flies off, but it definitely looks as if one of its eyes is cataract clouded, and has a strange look to it.
Well, that's interesting. And he will take out a pen and write on his arm that he's supposed to go for his birthright to the House of Skye at the appointed time, so he doesn't forget.
Of course. It's Tuesday, and the time is for Friday. So,
and we'll write a question: why was there a raven?
Excellent question. If you're pondering that and you would like to make an animal handling check before it leaves, you can do that. But,
why not? Like everything else has gone famously.
Yeah, anything that's not your skill has gone famously, right? So let's see, 6. Yeah, the raven was looked to be extremely old, right? For a city. So ravens are very common in the city. The Society of Ravens. You're aware that, like, rumor has it that they use the ravens to spy and past messages amongst themselves, but it's all kind of rumor. But ravens are very, very common. Like there's not so many pigeons. I mean, there's pigeons, but not so much. There's seagulls near the lake and the docks and everything. But ravens actually are pretty common. So it's not unusual to see a raven. It is unusual to see an old ass raven with a cataract eye, just kind of floating, like flying around in the city. So that is an unusual thing of note. So, but you go back to your business. You finish Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rolls around, and like it's not till the evening that you need to meet up with the family and everything. But the opportunity does come about where someone sends a message to you in the morning that they have a line on some really great, like fresh, like ingredients for your works that usually go. And it's one of the boating crews that goes out onto the lake and gathers. And you've taken trips with them in the past, and you get a message from Timmick is the person's name. Timmick is your contact, and they let you know that there is a boat going out that morning to join to gather up some supplies that would be useful for your potions, or not. Sorry, elixirs. We don't call them potions. Elixirs, and other things, pastes,
essences,
yeah,
emulsions,
that kind of thing. Yeah. And it gives you time. They said they understand. They said they're going to give you your typical window. They call it the Aldehyde window of time to show up. But
he'll show up.
Yeah, so the docks aren't super far from where you like to spend your time, and it doesn't take you long to get over to the docks. They're waiting for you. They greet you on board and everything, and they everyone starts getting the ship ready to go out, the boat ready to go out. And they say they're going to hit their normal spots, but they think they found a nice like area for gathering up. And they said, don't worry, we should be back, by the early evening or whatever. It should take long or whatever. And that should have been true, but alas, it wasn't. The weather's turned funky for some strange reason on the lake. But to note, it's interesting on the lake. In town, the last couple of weeks, the weather's been unusually beautiful for a gray, black and white city. But the skies usually aren't as nice and clear. And the last couple of weeks, the weather has been the nicest it's been, and very unusual for this time of year. But for whatever reason, the lake goes from being like, once you get out far enough, the lake turns really, really nasty, and you all are out there for a bit, and you can't, doesn't seem good for you all to get back, but right away, and that you may have to stay out a bit. And so I do have, what would be good for this? Survival, I guess. I don't even know. Nature's good. I like nature.
I'm actually trained in nature.
Let's go with what you're trained in. That's spiffy. Let's do that.
16
is good. Yeah. So not everybody else in the crew. The sad thing is the crew is trained sailors, and they should be fishermen and everything like that. They should be good for this, but they're not so good. But you do just fine. Helping them with the ship and get the boat. I keep saying ship. I know they're different. Yeah, I know people who are really particular about ships and boats will be angry. I'm saying one or the other. The boat is just fine, and you're able to like keep the boat intact and not fall off the boat into the water. It's getting a little crazy, but so you're delayed. You're delayed at least by a day. The next day, they kind of ask. They're like, I know you know, like usually we said we would get you back today, but do you mind? We didn't really get any haul, and we'd like to stay out like a little bit longer and try and bring in something.
I needed to be back. I'm confused.
I don't know. We were going to bring you. We thought maybe, you know, we told you we'd bring you back early in the evening, but now that we're out like a whole day, I mean,
okay.
Appreciate it, Aldehyde. You're the best. Where we'll get you some good stuff for the, and again, it could be maybe a Constitution save, just because it has been kind of rough waters, but.
Rough. All right.
Why don't you do it with advantage? How about that? Since you did so well on your. What does the magic dice say here? Are you serious? Well, Aldehyde. I don't know. Aldehyde is like, hold on a second, and then just checks off the well, hopefully off the boat. I'm willing to say you have enough control to decide where you get ill, but
I think that lunch was in that box too long.
It's possible. We bought it off the docks, right? And so, and when you're at the docks, there's question. We've established that there's questionable seaweed that's over there, and kelp that's maybe not the best items to buy.
No.
Yeah. Some things ferment okay. And the smell is really not the worst thing of it all, but
That said, I am going to save a sample.
Yeah. Oh. They go, oh, good for you, Aldehyde. And then they go about the fishing again. I'll say that I'll carry over that you had a decent roll. So at some point, or for nature, so at some point in time when they are everything said and done, you were able to get, you know, some dollars worth of supplies that are useful or somewhat rare, you know, for making tinctures and elixirs and not potions, but maybe potions. So
Emulsions.
Yes. And it takes a good bit, but you do get back. It's just later in the evening on Saturday. Yeah, you get back. It's late on a Saturday. You kind of you know, go back to doing your normal day-to-day stuff. Sunday rolls by, Monday rolls by, Tuesday. You get a call. Actually, that's true. You get a note that's left to you on Sunday that from the Skye household with a number for you to, or I guess not a number. They have a switch box or whatever, but you get basically a way to get in contact with the Skye household. That they were checking in on you. Like, so you get somebody who at your stalls, you get that there was a mix of like fancy people, not so fancy people, some people that like it was a weird. It was a very strange grouping of people. Came by and were looking for you specifically, Aldehyde.
I wonder, how does one put a house in the sky anyway? I imagine there are balloons. There's possibly some balloons involved.
Very possible. They go, but I think this house is the house of Skye. They mentioned that it's a pretty has been in the past a very well known and well established house within the city.
Well, I would imagine if it's in the sky, it would be.
Well, no, it's in Silverwood.
Oh, well, that's underwhelming.
It is one of the bigger households within Silverwood, but yes, but you know, rumor has it that it's not hasn't been very well kept in the last 10 or so years. So it's kind of fallen into disrepair.
Wow, maybe they should fix up the balloons. It'd probably help with that.
Yeah. So anyway, and then they go back to like they at that point where they realize that the nonsensical conversation, which just happened many times in your past, that they just kind of turn and go, oh, and oh, look, a customer, and then they go back to their shop stall, which is empty with no customers, and go about tending to their things there.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. So what would you, how would you like to, you have a note for to call the house? There's
I suppose once I am able to get to someplace with a phone, I will try and call the house.
It's not hard. It's not, I mean, there are the telephone booths around the city. They're pretty rarely available.
So yeah, he'll call the house. Hello.
Yes, Skye household.
Hi,
Miss Dredmeyer. You recognize the voice as the woman that.
Hello. I have questions.
All right. How may I help you? Is this Aldehyde?
I believe so.
Excellent. Good. You are okay. That was what we were worried about.
I am, well, some people tell me I should work on my nutrition more often, but I seem to be in good health. Yes. I have a question. Am I calling the Skye or?
No, you're calling the Skye household.
I see. Actually, I don't. I'm in a phone booth. I can't really see, but I think I understand what you're saying.
Yes. This is the Skye household. Eston Skye is the patron of this household. You are one of his grandchildren and a heir to the Skye household fortunes. You were invited to a get together on Friday evening, but you did not appear. So we were inquiring, since one of the other invited guests has turned up deceased.
Wow. Sounds like a good thing I didn't appear. Also, apparition might fall under the category of magic, and the church seems to have some strong opinions about that. But I'm glad I'm not dead.
Correct. We are glad as well, and that's why we were checking in on you. But you were not at your stall, and others had told us that you were busy, and we were just confirming that that we were told was true. So you're calling us. Well, at least hints at the fact that you are safe, and though you may be in the capture of someone and being forced to make this call and provide this information, but we hope that is not the case. But if it is the case, please go ahead and say the word buckwheat right now.
Why would I say buckwheat? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, good. We'll take that as that you are safe. As the
I'm perfectly fine. I have recently discovered some interesting effects of natural processes that allows for the forced regurgitation of material. So there's that.
Oh, you ate the kelp.
Well, I'm collecting samples. I imagine that there are medicinal uses for such a thing.
I suppose. But you are safe, and that is all we were checking on. We will let Eston know this, and I'm sure you again, the invitation to join the household is always open to you. But Eston may come and visit and inquire into your well-being in the future.
Well, I imagine that he will be welcome, though I have never actually met the man, I don't believe. Or maybe I did. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Some of the experiments occasionally affect my memory.
Well, that's good to know. well, have a good day, and I hope to see you again soon in the future.
Ah, so do I. That will mean your eyes are functioning.
Yes. And at that, you hear click at that point. And you could go about it's a Sunday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. At some point in time, a very, very handsome, I would say sexy grandpa looking man with a large bird that looks not too dissimilar to the bird that you saw fly off before approaches your stall. And greets you and is like, Aldehyde, yes?
Aldehyde, yes.
Aldehyde
Yes, I think.
Dredge, yes.
Yes, that's the correct name.
We weren't able to meet formally at my gathering, but I wanted to come and check in on you and make sure that you were all right. I was told by my my head of household, Miss Stridmeyer, that you had called, and so I wish to inquire into you in person to see how you fare.
Well, I suppose I fare. I try to be. Usually, I at least very very often try to be honest, if not fair, because at least honesty is a kind of fairness, wouldn't you say?
I would say yes. It is the gentle person's way for sure, and one must always follow the rules of the gentle person.
So, who are you again?
I am Eston Skye, patron of the Skye household.
So, I have questions about the Skye household.
Yes.
Is it some sort of turnstone mechanism that allows you to keep it aloft, or is it, like I theorized, balloons?
It is neither.
Oh.
Yes, the Skye household is a rich historied family within the city of Soretta. We have been the caretakers and members of the Society of Ravens for a number of years since the founding of the city, even. Yes, and the estate itself is on the ground. It's actually being repaired currently by the Iron Union.
Well, that's very fascinating. How can I help you?
Yes, you are my grandson.
That seems unlikely.
No. Actually, it seems highly likely. There's actually probably a magnitude of other individuals within the city I've yet to clearly identify as one of my grandchildren. But I lived quite the prolific life in my younger days.
Oh, I have an ointment for protection for that sort of activity. You never know what you might pick up.
Oh, I have my own methods, but yeah, all's clear.
I'm fairly certain I was told I was a bastard.
Almost. Well, your mother was sweet and dear. One of my first children. But I spent a lot of my time traveling the world, and so I only occasionally popped in on them to see how they were doing. So
I see.
But, yes. As to your father, I'm not aware, but sadly, your mother is no more as well. So
no, that's true. Well, it's nice to meet you, I suppose. Could I interest you in some interesting ointments? I have some for joint pain. I have heard that that's good, a thing that you encounter as you age into a certain category.
This man looks to be about 75 years old. So yeah, let's see. It's a joint pain, you say? That may actually may be useful. And then he turns to the large bird. He's like, "What do you think, Torvid? Do you need some balm for your aching joints as well?" Bird, one cataract eye, one normal eye, looking at you.
Okay. Is that a yes?
It's hard to tell with Torvid. Better the package two just in case.
Oh, of course. And this will be whatever appropriate amount of money is.
Yeah, he gives you slightly more than is necessary, but yeah, but it would be normal for someone to give like a tip, not grandiose but respectful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Sure. Well, it's nice to meet you. Would you like to take up the work? I suppose. I mean, it's never too late to learn a trade. I can teach you how to do this if you need.
Oh, I've had many trades throughout my years. I consider this my twilight years in retirement. I don't feel I need to pick up anything new. I leave it to you, the youth of the world, to carry on the fair trades that are out there. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I would suggest that you visit this place and let them know that I'm arranging for a spa day for you. And he pulls out a card and a different card. You're getting a lot of cards. It gives us another card, and the card simply says Curiosity Shop, and it has the Cult of Tenebris symbol on the back. And you've heard of the Curiosity Shop amongst the Cult of Tenebris, but never. If you've been there, it's not someplace like you really remember with your great memory as it is. And if anything, it wasn't because you went there with any kind of purpose. You may have just kind of happened upon it. Which and the address itself is kind of vague on the card. It's more of like like an area of town kind of thing. And he's like, anyway, I wish you the best, Aldehyde. Should you need anything, please call the Skye household and let us know. But you are always welcome. And you do have a legacy should you wish it there.
Ah, wow. A legacy. I'm familiar with the term. I don't actually really know what it means to have a legacy, to be perfectly honest, but
it's more of an inheritance. You have an inheritance. When I die, you will inherit things, and now is the time for you, should you wish it, to join the other family members in making sure that inheritance is the greatest as possible. And so that is what we are offering here.
I see. Very good. There are others?
Yes, there's a few other. Well, actually, there's a lot. To be honest, like I said, I was quite prolific in my younger years. There are quite a number of grandchildren throughout the world and within the city, but the few that answered are three grandchildren, and then one grandnephew, and then I had to hire a new lawyer, and to keep appearances, we have an advocate with that. Sorry, that's the lawyer. We have a confessor, house confessor. So
I see.
Yeah.
I believe I've read stories, so I feel I should ask. Should I prepare for assassination attempts?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Well, you should be prepared for a curse.
A curse?
We have a family curse, yes.
Oh. Is that better or worse than assassination attempts?
Well, some within the family will tell you that they are the same thing.
Ah.
Others will tell you that they are the result of one, which led to the other.
I see.
And others will just simply tell you it is a curse.
Not helpful, really.
Which part?
Any of it?
True.
So, just to review, I have an inheritance
Yes.
that I will see someday.
Yes.
Assuming I survive the curse and or assassins that are going to kill me.
Well, when you put it that way, yes. Yes.
Well,
the thing is we've gathered many of you all in one place. Wait, this actually sounds worse now that I think about it. And you together they've staved off many, not quite a few attempts on their lives already. Questionable whether those attempts were on my life or theirs, but it's still, it's
to review, you've also informed the others that I exist.
Correct.
Thereby increasing the chance that assassins and or curse will find me.
Well, if it's a curse, it would find you anyway.
I suppose that's possible.
Well, that's quite true. I mean, that's how curses work. I've been all over the world, my boy. I tell you this. Curses, that's how they work.
I can't argue necessarily, but I don't feel like I was being cursed before now.
Oh, you were.
I was.
Yes.
So it's just been a really unsuccessful curse?
Correct. Well, there's lots of you.
It's just sort of working through the crowd.
100%. Yes. So my dear sister, now deceased, a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I returned. Actually, a little bit longer than a couple of weeks ago. I returned a couple of weeks ago to see that there were burial. Her entire family was wiped out.
Did you do something to get this curse?
No, I do not believe so.
So how do we know there's a curse and not just
well, that is my working theory. Versus what?
The vagaries of chance?
Oh,
a random universe that's hostile to all our existences?
But more so towards ours.
I'm not sure which would be more or less disturbing. A hostile universe that was generally intent on the destruction of everyone, or a hostile universe that's intent on destruction of just one particular bloodline, of which I might be part of.
I would argue that your first conjecture is correct. There's a hostile universe against all people. It's just there's an increased amount of hostility towards our particular bloodline.
I think there might actually be some experiments we could set up to test that hypothesis.
I believe they're already in action, my dude.
Well then. I would like to see the notes on them.
Yes. Well, then I would, at some point in time, I will have you speak with my dear grandnephew.
Oh, good.
Yes. He seems to take impeccable. Well, I won't say impeccable. No, he takes notes. I do not actually know how impeccable they actually are, but
I'm glad that he takes notes.
Yes. The whole thing, though, I mean, is most likely. I mean, granted, I do have a number of enemies outside of this country that I've acquired over the years, but that again is outside of this country, and I have not been within the country for quite some time. So I doubt that the assassin's theory is true. There is a hypothesis amongst the grandchildren that there is someone who was done afoul by our family at some point in the past, and that they are seeking revenge, but again, this person was not directly connected to me, and so therefore I considered this just to be another part of the curse.
I see.
The curse makes it allows you to box it up and neatly tie it with a bow a lot easier than some of the other theories that are going on.
Well, it's good to know, I suppose. I should put my affairs in order, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, of course. And if at any point in time you wish to join, there's going to be a soiree. Yes, in a few weeks, I suppose, once the renovations have been finished and the guest list has been fully put together and the entertainment has been chosen, there will be a soiree, which I am quite looking forward to.
I see. I've never been to a soiree before.
Oh, then you don't want to miss this.
I see.
Yes. We are inviting all of the most influential people that I know of within the city, and then your fellow cousins? Is it cousins? Yeah, I guess they're cousins. Cousins would be
Right.
are acquiring a few other extra guests to join this soiree, because we wish to make a grandiose announcement of the return of the Skye family within the city.
And
To
it
all
makes it so you have more targets for people to actually hit rather
more
than
people, more
one.
people there. Yes, of importance.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Right. The spread the love, if you will.
Yes, you wouldn't want to have the entire household killed off in one single event.
No, that's doesn't seem. I mean, well, I guess that could happen. It is a curse. It's not without the realm of possibilities. But I mean, again, there are enough other grandchildren outside of the country that I feel like the legacy and will live on. So if that were to be the case, but I feel like the amount of security which we are procuring and so forth is be fine. Yeah, that your cousins have already survived through animatronic insects. There was a giant scorpion. There was some
automatons made in the form of insects.
Yes.
Ah, well, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you bringing me this dire news.
Gift. Refer to it as a gift.
A gift. Yes. I think it'd probably be safer if I go back to experimenting with the powder. See if I can make it more explosive. I think that might actually be safer.
Well, don't forget to get a spa day, and while you're at it, and wish all the best with the powder. And he takes his two containers of cream and taps his cane and turns about and goes off into the market. We're not too far away to the market. Actually, no, he wouldn't have been with them at this point. So he's by himself. Yeah, other than the large cataract-eyed raven with him.
Well then. And goes back to work.
Yeah. If you decided to do the spa day or whatever, just carry your work. It's another like week and a half basically of just going about business and life and so forth. Maybe the car gets tucked away. If you do go to the nice shop, it's there. You're greeted, and so forth, but friendly. So it's a Sunday evening. You're closing up shop maybe, or you're at least putting away some few things or whatever, and then suddenly coming running through the now slightly dispersed crowd because of the Sunday evening, you see the old gentleman that just declared himself your grandfather a few weeks ago, with a squawking bird flying towards you, and a number of other folks who you don't really recognize, but we're not 100% positive who's going to show up on Tuesday. So that'll be coming at you in this moment. So we'll fade to black there and pick up on this on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, wherever you're watching this right now, which could be YouTube or Twitch or whatever. So yeah, that's your light introduction to the Skye households and Soretta before you meet the rest of the family on Tuesday night.
I'm sure I won't survive.
No, it's a curse. Who knows? It's definitely
my die rolls hold up the curse.
Your die rolls are definitely showing that you are cursed. That's 100% true. So before we go, once again, Jeremiah, thank you so much for being here and joining us as a guest next few weeks. How about again say who you is and where they can be found on the interwebs?
Well, my name is Jeremiah McCoy, also known as Basics of the Game on TikTok, and here I actually have a show tomorrow on Basics of the Game on Twitch. My Newark by Night Weirdo Vampires wandering around in 1920s Newark. What could go wrong?
Are you saying Monday night at what time?
It's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Twitch at Basics of the Game.
Yes.
On Monday. All right. Awesome. Anywhere else or anything else?
You can find me, like I said, on Twitch and TikTok. I post videos pretty much every day on TikTok, so you can find me there.
It's true. He's prolific there too. Just like Eston is with children, grandchildren, children. So just a quick shout out to the folks working to keep the cogs running in the background. Game design and writing, Stephen Chaney and Brandon Stoddard. Tarot design and additional writing, Rabbit Stoddard. Character design, Adam Schubert for cool looking characters. Tarot and symbol design, Luana Zara, and graphic and UI design, Flor Sirotino of the Wanderer's Tome. I'm Christopher Mifsud. I've been your game master and host this evening. You can find us in Play on Words Studios all over the world where that is, and a bunch of other places, but we won't worry about that. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us in the shadows today, midday on a Sunday, for our intro to Aldehyde Dredge. And we'll see you Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here. So see you then. See you in the shadows. Bye.